Hello students, I am Professor Monica Prakash from Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, your instructor for this module. Welcome back to the course on destination management. We bring this course to you as a part of ePathshala initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India to make postgraduate education accessible to all. In this module, we will be talking about promoting a destination using events. Tourism is frequently used as the dynamic force for the regional and destination development, and it has been generally accepted that the destination image in one way or the other has influenced tourist behaviors. Tourists or consumers make the selection of where they want to travel based on the destination images being described by the destination marketers through promotions, but also based on their own image of a destination that come from many different sources, sometimes including past experiences with a destination. Destination promotion is one of the most happening topics in tourism due to its power to invoke certain images of destination into prospective and tourists' mind. The value of the destination image built through promotion by the local destination marketing organizations and other destination promoters is no doubt an important tool due to power to attract more tourists to the area. Fauquier and Crompton in 1991 has stated that images are of principal importance to destination because they have the vigor to change and reposition the tourist's perception and impressions of a destination, and give him or her a certain sensation of the destination. Later on, its quality of experience that the tourist will have in a tourist destination will shape their idea of whether to visit or to not visit a place over again. The tourist image of destination is built not only on past experiences and marketing communication, but also on non-promotion medias which may include films, novels and television shows, etc. The destination promotion builds various images of destination, which influences the consumers so dominantly that it may either benefit the destination or may even have the negative impact. In order to have a substantial benefit, the destination images have to be unique, they have to be attractive, they have to be modest, and most importantly, very authentic and should be based on reality. Destination promotion may influence the customer or the tourist intentions to visit the destination in the future and their willingness to recommend the destinations to others. Thus, destination promotion is a concept which tourism managers and DMOs consider as being one of the most important factors in destination marketing for building destination image. Having appropriate information regarding the consumers, tourists, various attributes like social and psychological attributes, and the agents and the agencies involved in the destination promotion activities can allow marketers of destination to influence these personal and stimulus forces in such a way to change the perceptual or cognitive and effective assessment of the destination, and thus create a more representative image of the destination. After completion of this module, you will be having an understanding about the concept of destination promotion, would also know the different kinds of the events that are being held in the different corners of India, and understand the concept of how events help in the promotion of the destination. Let us begin by understanding what is destination promotion. Promotion is a term used frequently in destination marketing and is one of the key elements of marketing mix. Promotion can be defined as destination promotion includes the different methods of communication that a marketer uses to provide information and awareness about the destination. The information can be both verbal and non-verbal. The idea of promotion is to simply make people aware, attract and encourage to buy the product and services in preference over others. And now let us see what are special events. A special events can be defined as any event where a large number of people are brought together to watch or to participate. According to the above definition, a special event can be simply explained as a gathering of human beings at a particular destination, generally lasting for few hours to a few days, and intended to celebrate, honor, sell, teach about, or observe human endeavors. This definition is intended to be all-encompassing as possible. Dr. Joseph Goldblatt, a pioneer in special events, has come up with the definition perhaps in a more general terms. According to him, a special event is a unique moment in time celebrated with ceremony and rituals to satisfy specific needs. On the other hand, this explanation can be summarized two definitions from each of the event organizers and the customer's guest point of view, respectively. According to event organizers, a special event is a one-time or infrequently occurring event outside normal programs or activities of the sponsoring or organizing body. From the customers and the guest point of view, a special event is an opportunity for a leisure, social or cultural experience outside the normal range of choices or beyond everyday experiences. All are equally valid in defining special events as essentially unique and memorable times for people around. Now, what are reasons for special events? The Goldblatt has further suggested that special events can be categorized into four different purposes. They could either be for celebration or for education, can be for marketing and or can be for the reunion. While these purposes do indeed has already encompassed much of what we consider today in events and present an excellent starting point, upon reflection there appears to be deeper reasons behind most events, particularly historical ones, which in some cases were very clearly non-celebratory in nature. In context to the present scenario, primary reasons for holding special events can be broken down into 5 categories. They can be religious, political, social, educational and commercial. Religious. A recital concert by artist or a small group of people which follows a program like featuring the work of a single composer is a reflection of what goes in our everyday life, is not something new. In ancient times, people through certain recitals or rituals with the help of the priest or group leader worshipped God for the success or failure of crops and the health or the sickness of the individual. Thus, their special events were much centered on ritualistic ceremonies designed to appeal or praise the god. This was certainly the main reason for special events in early times. An evident example in this regard is the ancient Olympics, which began in Athens as a religious festival to honor the principal Greek god Zeus. Even today, religion remains to be one of the most important factors for some special events, particularly the endorsement of life events. For example, puja at temple, setting by the priests, or on a smaller scale in a family home in Hinduism, bar and bat mitzvahs in Judaism, baptism and confirmation in the Christian religion, marriages in all religions, and funerals or memorial services in all societies. Others celebrate festivals like Holi, Deepavali or Eid as an events which certainly are extremely important for the believers, but valued for commercial rather than religious reasons among the non-believers. One of the reasons behind some historical religious events has also been to preserve or promote the interrelationship of king and the priest classes, example ancient Egypt, or to sustain the communicative ability of the ancient kings with the gods, examples Mayans. Today, these religious special events can be used by marketers to promote the destination where such events are going to be held. For example, West Bengal can be promoted during Durga Puja festival by the marketers to showcase the culture and importance of the festival to the community. Political. During the course of time, politics has been one of the prime reasons for holding special events, in best cases to demonstrate the power of the ruler or the ruling class. In pre-medieval times, there are innumerable examples: military victory parades, gladiatorial contests in the Roman Empire intended for public amusement but sanctioned by the emperor, the public erection ceremonials of the monuments by various ancient kings, example Mayans, Chinese and Egyptians, and even civic execution rights up to the early 20th century in some countries. Today, politics does not play as large a part in special events. However, its presence can be felt all over the world. Certainly, presidential inauguration ceremonies and coronations can be considered as major special events which involves considerable organizing and planning. Fundraising dinners and events by political parties are obviously political in nature. Not so obvious are other events that have political motivation as the primary, but more refined reasons. An example here might be the G20 summit held in Hangzhou, China in 2016 can be considered as a political special event as the leaders of the 20 nations gets together to discuss the political current relation between the politics, the countries and the future roads for advancement. This event not only brought awareness about Hangzhou, China, also this gave chance to the marketers to promote Hangzhou, a destination where leaders of top 20 nations visited together. The third is the social. Confirming one's importance and association in social groups has been one of the reasons for special events for at least as long as religion and ritual. As suggested by Turner in 1988, performance reflects the social drama. For example, Roman theatre was more superficial than any other place in ancient times, where seating placements and the way audiences represented was a reflection of a Roman society in general. As Parker stated in 1999, the Roman theatre provided a specific place and time for all the dramas of Roman cultures to be played out with full troupe of characters to some complete and demonstrative spectators. The Roman consciously used the theatre as a part of Rome. Of course, the theatre was not always the venue for such events. Today, social events remain confined to celebrations of common culture and community ties, including not only some of the life breakthrough events already mentioned, but also reunions, graduations, and public non-profit cultural festivals. Examples of these thrives from small community picnics on a national holiday to mega events such as the annual Khajuraho Dance Festival, which showcases the most colorful and the brilliant classical dance forms of India with the roots in the rich cultural traditions across the country. The fourth is the educational. One of the most significant ancient reasons for special events that has been long been is educational. With literacy rate often almost non-existent in the ancient societies, special events provided the only means of educating the populace about their own history and often instructing them about the inherent dangers of not vowing loyalty to the governing body or individual or following the norms of the approved societal norms, also a political reason. Education in ancient times was closely related to religion in India. Among the unorthodox schools of belief were the Jain and the Buddhist schools. Unorthodox Buddhist education was more comprehensive and aside of the monastic orders. The Buddhism education centers were urban institutes of learning such as Taxila and Nalanda, where various subjects like grammar, medicine, philosophy, logic, metaphysics, arts and craft etc. were also taught. Also, special events were organized in the rural setup to impart preaching to the community by the saints or the preachers. Even in recent times, such traditions are still being followed in the different parts of India. In recent times, education as a reason for special events has taken on a different context. With the 20th century came improved transportation and communication technology, allowing convenient movement of people and information within nations and between continents. This lead in turn to the growth of conferences, workshop, symposium and trade shows that had as their main reason the exchange or presentation of knowledge, in other words an educational reason, but in different forms. Scientific, medical and industry specific conferences and trade shows have resulted in a growing special events industry that is worldwide. The next point is commercial. In 21st century, due to technological advances such as air transportation and the internet facilities, in addition to other stimuluses like the trend of celebrity worship, fan following, movies and mass appeal entertainment, the primary reason for holding special events has now become almost completely commercial. Because of such commercialization, the special events industry has come into being within the last 3 decades. It has not only provided work and outlet for the creative energies of many of us, but also a platform to promote their location or destinations. Now, when considered, almost every event nowadays comes back to having the primary reason for its existence as commercial. An incentive themed night does not have hangouts as a primary reason. Instead, selling of a particular company or sponsor products as the reason. A Grand Prix auto race event does not have as its primary reason the competition to see who the best drivers is. It is there to sell the sponsor's products. It may be either the event sponsor or the specific driver sponsors. A charitable fundraising event put on by a city business industrialist is not there as pure patronage, no matter what the organizations may argue. It is there to develop the image and hence the sales of the organizer's product or services to the audiences. A Santa Claus parade is not created for the good of the children. It is created for the good of the sponsors. These are but a minute sample from our industry. The key point about accepting the underlying reasons for special events, especially commercial, is that it can affect how an event is organized and produced, especially in the choice of resources such as entertainment, decor and the visual presentations. For example, a producer who has been tasked with finding entertainment for a business leader's fundraising event might recommend featuring the leader in a scripted spoken presentations in order to portray that person in a favorable light and give him or her more exposure. If the underlying reason of commercializations were not known, this opportunity might be passed on. An incentive dinner for the corporation's top sales people might, instead of just having a buffet stations with interactive entertainments, incorporate some symbols of the company or its product as a part of entertainment, such as souvenir sheets with a company logo or reference to its products on the theme drawn by the caricaturist, or some products as a part of magician's close-up magic. A post-Grand Prix race drivers dinner for the media and the VIPs might feature an original song or song parody about the race sponsor, specially written and sung by a celebrity performer. A souvenir handed to all the attendees would make this a lasting memory and enhance the image of the sponsor. While some of these may seem obvious, the intent is to emphasize how important it is for producers to dig deeply in order to understand the primary underlying reasons for any event. Now, what are the categories of special events? Special events are now so popular that there is an entire spectrum of different activities, categories of events. Depending on which continent one is situated, the categories may be different. Like for example, from Australia, categorizes events by both size and content, lumping meetings, incentives, conventions and exhibitions and into a single category. On the other hand, marketing according to their convenience has accepted somewhat integrated approach to categorization that generally reflects the recognized specializations of organizers. Although this does to be a moving target as much specializations continue to evolve. The following are the categories of special events. Meeting and conferences. As mentioned, there is now a massive field worldwide. Event that comes under this main category includes meeting, conferences, conventions, video conferences, internet conferences, congresses, seminars, symposia, workshops and retreats. It could be expositions and trade shows. This category encompasses large expositions, industrial shows, trade shows, professional or scientific shows and consumer shows. Celebrations, ceremonies and spectacles. This category has variation from the public demonstration to the performative text. from ritual, popular theatre and home theatricals to communal festivities and celebrations, which can be further subdivided into the following components. A could be public events. These include such events as parades, festivals, carnivals, sporting events, concerts and one-off theatrical presentations. Private events. Arguably, the area in which the majority of event producers work. This subcategory includes such events as award shows, corporate dinners, theme events, opening and closing ceremonies, incentive events, fundraisers, social and life events, product launches and reunions. Now we will now discuss the phase of event organizations. It is generally recognized by event management experts that there are 5 distinct phases to the event management or event organization process. Event marketers have defined these phases in their own ways, but the phases are essentially the same. Throughout the event organization process, there are underlying but ongoing and overlapping events, responsibility areas or tasks. Let us now examine each of these event phases. The first, the concept and the proposal phase. This phase takes the event from the germ of an idea to the creation of a detailed proposal. The task associated with this phase can be further subdivided into 2 subphases. The first would be a preliminary research. It is a research where a feasibility study of the event concept is conducted, analyzing the various prospects including the strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threats, that is the SWOT analysis, to determine if the concept is comprehensive and worth pushing further. And also of the subphase is identifying, comparison and selecting a site or venue for the event, often requires site inspections and detailed evaluations. The second part is the initial event design. In the event design, the first actual steps are taken to essentially develop the concept of event in detail. At first, a preliminary program and the content of the events are put together. This generally requires the input of key subcontractors or suppliers to provide ideas and initial cost. Secondly, a formal budget is prepared based on these 2 proposed costs. Thirdly, an innovative proposal for the event is written, integrating the coordinated ideas of the event team, that is, suppliers and staff, and the event proposed budget. This phase ends with the creation of this proposal. The second phase, the marketing and the sales phase. This phase takes the event from proposal stage to the formal acceptance decision. In this phase, the primary goal is to sell enough sponsorships and or tickets to reach the approval decision with enough time remaining before the event. Also to allow for detailed coordination. Of course, depending on the type of event, this phase can be skipped entirely. For example, the event of a private corporate for which a fixed amount has already been budgeted, no sponsors or sell ticket is required. The event is a go from the beginning and only fine modification of the proposal and budget usually remain. Otherwise, this phase ends with the acceptance decision from the management. The third, the coordination phase. This phase takes the event from the acceptance decision to the beginning of the actual setup of an event. It is the most complex and time consuming phase of the event organizing process, which includes obtaining licenses and permits, assessing risk, recruiting volunteers and organizing staff, contracting suppliers, accepting registrations and reservations, production management, contracting caterers and transportation, etc. This phase ends with the moment event setup begins. The fourth phase, the execution phase. This phase includes event setup, the actual happening of the special event itself, and event strike. This phase includes paying suppliers, coordinating volunteers and staff marketing like badging, signage, media license, on-site registration and ticketing, monitoring, risk security license, transportation license, catering license, on-site management and production management. Now this phase ends after strike once the venue or site has been resumed to its pre-event condition. The final and the fifth stage, the follow-up phase. The final phase in the special event is that of a follow-up. This phase begins with the moment event strike is complete. This phase involves paying suppliers, thanking the client and or participants, evaluating the special event through participant or client surveys, conducting an event team wrap-up review meetings, making adjustments for any budget and contractual changes, and analyzing the event success or failure. It ends once these tasks have been accomplished. Thus, promotion of a destination is very important in the 21st century as it brings the destination into the limelight. Special events play definitely a vital role in promoting the destination as it helps the organization and the destination marketers the interest of the consumers or the tourist. Also, it helps the prospective consumers or the tourists to have the glimpse of the attraction available at the destination. Thus, according to their interest, they can plan out for a vacation to the promoted destination. However, in order to set a development for the next decade, like all industries, special events cannot operate in isolation from the destination. Destination marketers at this stage needs to understand the importance of special events and how it can cater the demands of the customer or the tourist in the times to come. Not only to avoid repeating mistakes, but also to build on past accomplishment so that we can create more professional and awe-inspiring events in the future. This means marketers must first explore the past and the common historical reasons for organizing special events in civilizations on every continent. Once marketers have done this, they will examine the industry the way it is today, looking at the different categories of events, the different jobs involved in organizing the events, and how event production fits into the overall spectrum of the event management. And finally, the 5 phases of event organization. Thank you.